it was leaking like a sieve. And I see the oil leaking out basically where the seal is. I didn't think I installed it incorrectly. Cheap China parts changed this seal without taking the whole timing chain cover off. I'm gonna use the impact. That was a little bit of a job. Lovely assistant Daniela. I probably have more time in editing this video. And hey, if you like the video, why don't you like the video? What's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be changing the crankshaft oil seal that is behind the harmonic balancer on a 06 2.4 liter Ecotech. I was looking online and I think it's the exact same seal for all the 2.0, 2.4 Ecotechs. This is an 06, but I went on Rock Auto and it's the same for a 2014, 2016, until they stopped making the 2.4 Ecotechs. So most likely it's the same exact seal. But do your own research before you spend your money and buy the wrong part. Now, I changed this seal about 1.5 years ago when I replaced the timing chain. So the seal is only 1.5 years old, so it really shouldn't be leaking. Obviously, if you could see all the oil everywhere, it was leaking like a sieve. Put the car up on jack stands. I had my wife start the car and rev the engine a little bit, and I see the oil leaking out basically where the seal is. Now, I bought the seal online for, I think it was like $25 for the whole timing chain cover, gasket, and the seal. Now, it wasn't fel-pro. It was a cheaper company. I don't know if that's the reason why it's leaking or if it was maybe my error by installing it. I didn't think I installed it incorrectly, but we're going to find out. All right, so let's take a look at the seals. So instead of buying some cheap China parts, I bought these fel-pro gaskets that are basically made in China. I was looking on the internet and I came across a guy that did the same job, and he says you could change this seal without taking the whole timing chain cover off. So if I could do that, that'd be awesome. So I bought the timing chain cover gasket with the seal, and I bought just the seal, and hopefully I could just use just the seal and return the timing chain cover gasket with the seal. If you want to get the timing chain cover and the seal through fel-pro, it's TCS 46079. Just the seal's part number is TCS 46113. All right, so let's get under there and see what we got to work with. All right, so I start with a 21mm to remove this bolt, and that's not going to work. So, all right, guys. Well, I don't know if it's a good idea to do this, but I'm going to use the impact. Oh yeah, beautiful. I'm going to take off the belt, do all that, and I'm going to get to the point where the balancer is off. Okay, so we have an update. I took the balancer off, and I'm looking, and there's no seal in there. So where did the seal go? The seal stood on the balancer, which is kind of weird to me. Now, when I put it in, I didn't put any RTV around it, but I didn't think you really had to. So I guess you might have to. But the RTV isn't supposed to really hold it in there. It's supposed to stay pressed in, because the seal is literally still good. It's just, I don't know, it's like the outside diameter shrunk. Because even to the point where it slides right back in. And I remember last year I had to tap it in. It's weird. So this, like I said, this time I'm going to use RTV. I mean, I don't think the RTV actually holds it in there, but maybe I'm wrong. All right, I'm going to RTV up the new seal. I'm going to clean up this cover to accept the seal, so it's a nice clean surface. And we'll see where we're at. And then I'll get back with you guys. All right.
20 minutes later.
So I permatexed the outside diameter of the seal. I tapped it into place with a hammer and a small punch. Make sure if you do that, make sure you hit it flush around the outside.
Round the outside, round the outside, round the outside.
You don't hit the seal, because if you damage that seal, you'll be right back in the same boat that you started in. Just keep in mind whenever you put the balancer back on that you rub some oil on the seal so you don't damage the seal as you're putting the balancer in. All right, so I'm going to put the balancer back on, get the belt back on, get everything back to running condition. I'm going to change the oil because the oil needs to be changed for one, and two, we lost a bunch. So instead of adding, I'm just going to do a whole complete oil change. And I'm going to wait a couple of hours to start it because I want to give the Permatex a chance to set up. And that should be it. Two things I forgot to mention. One, that bolt needs to be torqued down to 70 foot-pounds. And two, I was reading online that bolt there is a torque to yield bolt, meaning When you remove it, it has to be replaced because it stretches. But when I went to Napa, I asked the technician, and they told me that it's not a torque to yield bolt. So you could reuse the same bolt, but it has to be torqued down to 74 pounds. You right? You right? Okay, guys, we got the belt back on, which that was a little bit of a job. It's definitely a two-person job, definitely. Maybe three. But anyway, now I have my lovely assistant, Daniela, and we're ready to start the car to see if we got any leaks. All right, Danielle, you ready? Yeah. All right, well, go ahead. Fire it up. Not so far so good, but the other day when it was leaking when she revved it. All right, babe, you wanna rev it to like maybe 2,000? That's good. All right. I don't see anything. Something that we're going to have to just keep an eye on and a very close watch in the near future and see what happens. Because that was kind of odd to me. I've never seen that happen to a oil seal before. Rev it up again. 2,000. Alright, I think we're good. I don't see anything. So there you go. The whole job, basically replacing the seal, only took about a half hour. It was getting the belt back on, cleaning up the oil leak, changing the oil. I probably have more time in editing this video than I did actually changing the seal. So I do recommend, if you don't have to take off the timing chain cover, I 100% recommend replacing that seal on the car, because it really wasn't that hard. Now that the job is over, I asked myself this question: was it me not putting the gasket sealant on the circumference of the seal, or was it a cheap parts issue? Let me know what you think down below. Leave a comment. And hey, if you like the video, why don't you like the video? You know what I'm saying? And subscribe. I appreciate it. Well, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on A Patriot's Touch.